Hmm. There she is in the waiting room. Isn't that fun?
There they are.
That's her. That's her right there.
Yes, we did it.
You did it.
Oh my gosh. I had my whole family, extended family on for 30 minutes and I couldn't get on. I tried 3 devices and I could not get on.
That's him.
Yeah, and that's Bob right next to me. How about that?
Well, we've got you on our LCD huge screen.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. You're like the movies.
You've got it big.
We've got it big time. So,
woo!
So
I guess I can turn the camera.
Somehow I've got Bob cut off, but
we can see Bob.
I can see me.
Okay, now you can see you. Yeah.
Well, hooray. Well, I'm so excited about this date. We're supposed to be cut off in 40 minutes.
Oh, that's fine.
That's how our Zoom works. So if
yeah,
we're cut off,
this worked too.
If we're cut off,
40 minutes, I wasn't on.
That's what happens. So anyway, so Lisa, do you know why the beach lifeguard refused to go after the hippie?
No.
Bob knows the answer to this.
No, I don't.
He was too far out, man.
Where do you get these?
Kidneys, I guess. So you guys saw Octopus.
Yes, we did.
We did. Boy, what a weird movie that was.
Well, we're part of a movie group, Bob, and they picked that movie to pieces. They researched Harry Houdini, who apparently breathed pure oxygen and then was able to hold his breath for 21 minutes. So there was a lot of speculation if that was going on. But in the end, we learned that the cameraman held his breath for 2 minutes. But it took him.
I don't think you need to hold. I don't think you need to worry about 2 minutes if somebody wants to do it on regular air. Because I've done that.
Yeah, I know you know about snorkeling and scuba, and it took 10 years to make the film. So,
well, have you done some snorkeling, Bob? Or?
In the Cayman. You were snorkeling in the Cayman Islands, right?
Yeah,
we were. Right. But it was room air, which is 21% oxygen.
Well, they did have camera people who had oxygen that filmed the diver and the octopus. And Tom wanted to know, was it the same octopus or was it different octopus or octopi, like Lassie using, one dies out, but they came to agree that it was one.
It was a single octopus the whole time.
Yes.
You think so?
I have no idea.
Did they all look the same?
Right.
Well, they look like seaweed.
The octopus?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then one of them, they got a good shot of this eyeball looking back at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that really an eyeball or is that some other sensory device? It seemed strange.
I don't know what it was. I've never seen anything quite like it. The shape of the skull was strange. It had a serpentine-like appearance, the way it moved.
Yeah.
But they called it an octopus. And it may be variety of octopus that looks that way. You can't prove it by me.
Well, the water had to have been very cold there in South Africa, diving amongst the kelp beds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and were those octopi trained or bred to look like kelp or other seaweed?
Well, they were able to camouflage themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that going on.
The only weird thing I found out this year having to do with diving was that there's sort of brown fat that can accumulate in some people, and it will help somebody stay in a cool temperature a lot longer than regular body fat.
Oh, so that's what he attributed. After you do it enough, then you started acquiring this brown body fat.
I don't know, but he trained for it for a long time.
And then included his son at the end.
Yeah.
But I thought it was so beautiful.
Well, what made you wander onto that film? Oh, Irene recommended it. Well, what do you know?
Well, and Lisa and Bob have Netflix.
What do you do with Netflix?
What do we do with it?
Yeah. I mean, what do you watch on?
It.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Helen and I watched all of the Queen's Gambit
Oh, yes.
yesterday.
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
7 hours, Bob. Mm-hmm.
God, Irene.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's getting bad.
We spread that one out because
Yeah.
we really loved it and we didn't want it to end.
Right.
So.
Well, I was prepared for something tragic and gory, but it wasn't any of that, and I was really happy. Plus, I like that time period, the 60s.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was just, it was so accurate.
Mm-hmm.
All the costumes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
The way the cars, everything.
She never cracked a smile in all 9 episodes.
Really? What was her chess moves like?
Her chess moves?
Yes.
I have no idea.
We couldn't keep up with it.
I'm not a chess player.
I see.
I know a couple people who think they are, but I mean, my intuition is that woman would have knocked their socks off.
she never cracked a smile the whole time.
Yeah.
That's bad.
She always looked like she was in various states of horror.
Well, you know, that's probably the way she is all the time, and they cast her that way, knowing that that's what they wanted in the character. It was a shoe-in.
Right, right. But she and the mother, the one woman that adopted her,
Yes.
are up for a bunch of awards.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, they've been a sensation. They were on NPR and interviewed on NPR, and she said she didn't know how to play chess, that she just learned what she needed.
Mm-hmm. And there was criticism featuring her addiction.
Right.
There were some people who felt that was
so what were the
wrong to glamorize that, but in the social work newsletter, which comes out every day, they were very complimentary about all of the movie. That didn't bother them. I'm enjoying looking at your new house, Bob. It's exciting to see something that's all clean and white and.
Well, it's not white, but it's very neutral colors. So the thing that was really impressive was that when we first moved in, for the first 2 months, we had no art on the walls, no color. It was all pretty neutral. And I thought it looked like a nursing home. That was very institutional, and I didn't like it. But once we got our own stuff on the walls, it was much better. And tomorrow, James and Marnie are coming over, and they're coming inside, and they're hanging some family pictures.
Right.
So we have a storeroom with no windows that's right off the front door, and we're hanging family pictures in there.
Good, you can mix up the artwork and have various things. Different types of paintings. You can switch them up from time to time.
Yeah, yeah.
A rotating art exhibit.
Rotating, we might do that.
Well, Tom and I were actually just listening to Elena singing again. Such an
my
animated.
God.
Wow, Bob, I think she takes after you with her singing and performing. That voice.
Maybe got those things for me.
That voice is.
I think she does.
Yeah. Really.
Do you ever watch that movie or that TV show called The Voice?
A little. Mm-hmm.
I'm curious whether you think she could cut it on that.
I think she's headed for the big time.
Well, why not? She's at least going to get a role on Broadway in the chorus, one way or another. If she sticks
Broadway has to open up first.
I know it'll be.
She'll be ready when they're ready.
Yeah.
And she was looking at schools.
She got into 3 last week.
No, she got into 1.
Oh, good.
She got into one that is going to offer her some money in a honors college, maybe. It's Greensboro, though. It's not her top choice. It was her safety school, but she got early decision. They recruited her.
Yeah.
Because they have a really good music program, musical theater, which is what she likes. But she doesn't want to major in it. She just wants to go to a good school and do a real major and just have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this year she's still competing. She's going to regionals, but it's all online and taped and all that. So.
What's the real major?
She hasn't exactly decided. She's thinking of stuff like this. Business, though.
Oh, sometimes it's business. It's the other day it was social work.
Ooh.
Who knew?
We'll see a bright future in that.
Somebody in the audience was talking about social work, I guess.
No, what happened? I don't know whether you ever saw any. We have this program that's taped and it's on our website called Come Sing With Us.
Mm.
And one time we had Elena and 3 of her friends from the School of the Arts sing. And it was on Facebook Live and we got like 300 people looking at it and commenting out. Nobody knew it was she was related to me. But Bobby worked a deal where she could get paid for that. All the kids got paid by Duke.
Good.
Wow.
So she got her first, IRS form and W-2 and all that sort of stuff for singing. And we have these 2 young social workers on our team, Natalie and Janelli, and they moderate these musical events and talk to the people ahead of time and do a preview video and all this stuff. Well, she thought they were so cool that she said, I'm going to be a social worker. And of course, it has nothing to do with social work.
Well, that cast a wide net.
Social work's diverse. Yeah.
It is diverse.
You can work in the field, or you can work like you did. They're managing the grants and everything for Greg.
Right.
When I was in social work school, there was a huge, what was called an AMP, administration and planning.
Oh,
track. as much as the clinical side.
Right.
Well, very good, very good.
Yeah. So is Helen still home?
She is. She said she was going to come up, so we might get to see her.
Oh, you're in the studio, aren't you?
We're in the third floor. Yeah.
Third floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made up the big screen TV so that we do all our Zooms with the big screen TV and the microphone, the camera set up. And
Uh-oh.
here comes Helen now.
Oh, wow.
I heard I was being discussed.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You were being discussed. Hi, Helen.
Hello.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
We don't have you on a big screen, but we can see you at least.
That's
You're the only COVID survivor we know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're looking really good.
That's pretty impressive. I think the first time I knew someone that had it was like over the summer.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So most people had Helen's kind of COVID. Pretty mild. At home.
Right.
Quarantine for 11 days and
no side effects.
Yeah.
That's really lucky.
hoping. Yeah.
Still could
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Right. So did you hear from any more schools?
No, I was just going through the financials of it all in terms of like debt. It's not a pretty picture, is it?
Debt is not a good picture.
No.
Well, if you went to Harvard Law, how much would your debt be?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
250,000.
I have no idea. I have no reason to look up how much my debt would be if I went to Harvard.
You didn't apply to Harvard.
No.
How about that?
Well, it would have been.
Well,
It would have been a crapshoot.
how much would the application be?
I didn't look into this.
Mm.
Well, we'd love to just look at her.
Yeah. Well, it's so good to see you all without masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Everyone we see has a mask on. Yeah.
Who got the windows open on the fan going?
They all look just alike. Helen's hoping to go to Italy with Anil when things open up again.
That's true.
Next spring?
Whenever it's possible.
Oh,
That was one of your favorite places to go, wasn't it?
very favorite. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. We got to see a lot of Italy, except Rome. We never saw Rome.
Oh, you never made it to Rome? Well, I believe Anil went to Rome for the first time in the last few years. He grew up in
really?
Rome. He had never been to Rome.
Huh.
So, how about that?
Yeah.
Well, they live 10 hours by train to Rome, so it's a long
way.
time.
Yeah. They're way north, aren't they?
Yeah, Milan.
Yeah.
Or
Milan.
northern Milan?
Just a suburb of Milan.
Suburb.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's what they call it over there. I
suburb.
can imagine a European suburb. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, what was your favorite memory from Italy? I know I got a terrific scarf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We really liked all our trips to Italy. But I guess, I don't know, Tuscany? When we went with Miriam and Dick?
That was good.
That was a beautiful part of Italy. Going around Florence and Siena.
I like Florence too.
Mm-hmm.
Were you staying in like a little Airbnb?
No, we stayed at
No.
different hotels.
Hotel?
No, in Tuscany with my sister, we stayed in this medieval wine place. It was a medieval castle. It was 1500s and it had been remodeled, and everyone had their own like stone cottage, and they had, it was breakfast included, and it was this wild breakfast, and this wild woman that ran it, and everywhere you looked there were wine fields, and it was spectacular, and there were roads you could go bicycling on, and
Did they serve wine and
rural.
breakfast?
It was rural.
very rural, but it was absolutely luxurious accommodations, really luxurious.
So they served wine at breakfast?
No, not quite. But they had prosciutto every morning. I thought that was dazzling.
I do too.
So you could pack a good lunch from breakfast.
Right. Right. But we used that as a base and then did side trips all over Tuscany from there.
You were driving?
We were well, my sister's husband, he drives in Italy. So we flew into Milan, and then we drove down and stayed in Bologna and went all over, all the way down to Tuscany, and then went all over Tuscany.
So what was your favorite dish?
Oh, God.
Do they serve beef?
She ate a lot of veal.
Yeah, I had a lot of veal, but mostly pasta, and mostly we'd go to these little restaurants where they only have 3 tables and they only have 3 sittings, you know, like you stay all night. And I love that. And they sort of told you what you were going to have. You didn't have a menu, you know, but it was cool. It was really cool.
That sounds fun.
So Bob, did you try any beef there in Tuscany?
Beef
Yeah, we had beef.
or beach?
Beef.
I don't remember trying any beef.
Well, you had veal. Is that what?
Yeah, but they had meat meals.
Right.
Yeah.
I think probably some fish were
Uh-huh.
my preference. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we're going to say beach, and that's what I would like.
I would like the beach.
There's no beach in Tuscany, is there?
Right.
Beach in Tuscany.
I don't
Oh,
think-
any beaches? No. We didn't go to any beaches. We were in the mountains most of the time.
Yeah, the foothills of the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, I think anything there is beautiful. And you're fortunate that you didn't take the trains, although they're quite a learning experience.
Oh, no, we did. We took a train another time. Another time, Bob and I were there for a conference, and we went to Padua, which tiny little old medical school, and went to Venice and went to a bunch of places around there. But we did take trains in Italy when we were on our own. And we got stuck. The train got stuck once in the middle of nowhere, and we all got off the train in a field.
Wow.
It's like in the movies. Well, what I remember about the train was the train is supposed to leave at 2 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock, people are still pouring on
Right.
trains.
That hasn't changed.
And then there's an overhead luggage space. And they were just putting children up there. And then, you know, like 8 o'clock, it starts to go. But, so they're still as late as they were. This was in 77.
Oh, wow. That was after. I mean, before we went.
Own adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had one adventure in some Italian city train station. We were getting on the train, and I had bought this fancy olive oil, and it broke. The whole bottle broke as I was getting on the train, spilled everything, all over everything. That's the sort of thing I remember.
Right. Well, you just got new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was wondering what does olive oil smell like? Not much.
It has a little scent.
Has a better taste.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
But it's got all those Italian fresh herbs in it, you know.
Oh, wow. That
Yeah.
sounds
Well, I learned later that, you know, you send everything from a store. You don't try and carry it with you.
Right. But you were smart to shop for olive oil. Because
Well,
we
it
here,
seemed like the thing to do.
yeah, here the olive oil's not the same. I'm sure what are the things?
they don't have not commented on olive oil.
Yeah.
Really? I can't believe it. You have to go with the first pressing from
They
the.
probably go to Jungle Jim's or something. Jungle Jim's is this giant, like grocery store in Cincinnati, and it's, when I say giant, I mean giant. Like they have everything under the sun, under that roof, in terms of food, and it includes like a large international section that is actually like reasonably authentic.
Oh.
Like impressive, I would say. So I think if they ever really needed anything,
Do they go there?
Yeah, they go there every once in a while. I'm sure to pick up their essentials.
Helen's talking about Anil's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they found a place to get something.
It's just lucky that Jungle Jim's is here, because I think it's very famous in terms of grocery store enthusiasts. It's, you know, it's a landmark.
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, the prices at Jungle Jim are the same prices for the same international foods that are in our local market here. And this thing is trying to, you know, all you have to do is make an arrangement with a distributor, and the same products can be up the street. So we'll work on it.
Well, thinking about Helen going to school, I feel that Chapel Hill is the safest spot. Some of this, you looked at New York and back to Washington, but do you still feel that way about Chapel Hill, that it's a safe as far as crime?
What kind of, that's a different question. I think it's a pretty safe place as far as crime goes, and given the fact that you've already had COVID and survived it,
yeah,
you know, I'm not sure there's much difference in the danger level there from your previous visit.
Durham is having a terrible crime problem.
Oh dear.
So if you go to Duke and live in Durham, it depends on where you live, but they're having horrible violence right now. But it's gangs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were there when I was in college. When I lived in Chapel Hill in the mid-70s, no self-respecting girl would be found dead in Durham. We never.
Yeah, well then Durham got very shishi and very cool for a while. And it still is. It's still considered way cooler than Chapel Hill.
Mm.
But it's just having a little crime problem right now.
Certain places you don't go at night.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well,
but
Tom is recovering from working on the boat in Lake Erie. Give us an update.
Oh, I'm still putting the engine in the boat in Lake Erie, and we're just about, we're probably going to launch in a normal way in the spring with the engine in the boat. And we're looking to spend 26 days on the lakes, going 24/7 to trial the boat.
Oh.
So that's
on the Great Lakes, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should be able to go to Duluth and Toronto, and who knows, maybe Quebec if we wanted to. We'd just be making time and distance, because we want to trial the boat for 26 days, which is the longest leg to when we go to Europe. To leave from Boston to Scotland is going to be 26 days.
What parts of the year are you talking about going?
Oh, July. We're going to do that in July.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. So
That's when you go to Russia, right?
well, we're gonna leave for Russia on May 15th on 2022, and we arrive August 15th in St. Petersburg.
Oh, I see.
So we got a long trip, but the longest leg is that leg from Boston to Scotland. So we're going to load the boat up with, dare I say, 4 cases of beer, a case of wine, a half a case of whiskey, and then some other things, you know, like some water, but not much.
Right.
And the captain,
Basics.
yeah, the owner wants to hang a big prosciutto in the cabin, and we'll just shave off a little prosciutto every day. Buy some water. But
I like the idea of taking a practice run around the lakes.
Yes, and you can basically go from stem to stern in 26 days if you don't stop. You just spend a lot of time working the whatever is up. We'll be in the sea lane all the time, so it'll be very busy, and hopefully it'll work out. But it's really.
So how many are going?
Three people, my identical twin and the owner, and myself.
The old man's going, huh?
Not the old man.
No,
this is the guy that owns the boat on Lake Erie.
He's 10 years younger than I am, and
old guy.
We might pick up some of his family. We might switch crew a little bit, but we'll see. But you know, it's like we leave. We sail to Buffalo, and then we come back, and then we pass through. We go to Mackinac, we go to Chicago, then back to Mackinac, then we go into the Lake Superior. So we're a lot of crisscrossing.
But Chuck is going to go.
Chuck will come along.
Yeah.
On some of the leg, he could stay the whole time, but it's really to see how the boat handles with fully loaded, and trying to make sense of provisions. You know, it's a lot cheaper when you don't land. There's no dock fee. There's no expensive restaurant bills. There's no gift shops.
Right.
It's very inexpensive. It cuts it down to nothing.
But Bob, you're right. The first person, or the person Tom sailed with 3 times, is 89. So you're right. He's an old person. And so the old person we think is probably finished, but Willard lives here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who owns the boat they're fixing up.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right now.
He wants to write a book on Russian history of John Quincy Adams being the first ambassador to Russia.
Oh.
So this is going to be a book about his voyage when he took his family to Russia to be the first ambassador.
Cool.
So I'll paint a portrait of the owner of the boat is the captain of the Horace. And of course I'll have to do a painting of John Quincy Adams, and I guess we'll paint Chuck as one of the mates of the ship or whatever.
Yeah.
So everybody will get painted.
That's good. So has Willard actually ever sailed?
He sailed with his grandfather offshore, and other than that, he's got about 200 days on his own boats. So he's quite accomplished. It's difficult to know if you're ever ready. So he's ready. I mean, you just have to want to go, really. Things will work out.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
He definitely wants to go.
Yeah.
They've
been planning it so long.
Well, it's taken us 2 years longer than we ever wanted it to do, but we're at the bottom of the bell curve, and we're coming up. The engine definitely is going to go in, and we're going to launch this summer. So that's that.
Have you been on the Great Lakes in your life in Cleveland and Toledo?
Yeah, a couple of small boats. I mean, Tom's got a day sailor, and that technically counts as days on Erie, but I mean, days on the water in your neck of the woods.
Well, the lakes can be really wicked too, right?
And they can whip it up real fast.
Yeah.
Because it's the shallowest lake.
Yes, definitely. Well, I'm looking forward to doing all those trials. We'll have a radar and everything you could possibly imagine, so it shouldn't be any problem.
All the technical gear, huh?
Yeah.
So you upgraded all the tech stuff?
Oh yeah, everything is new. It's just going to be troubleshooting new equipment, which isn't so bad. It's a lot better than troubleshooting old equipment.
I guess so.
I take the
Lisa,
new.
say that again for Lisa. That's
Troubleshooting new equipment. I've got to get some new equipment.
It's always a lot easier than trying to fix the old equipment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Right now we're using a very old Duke laptop, which is the only way we can get Zoom right now. But I just ordered a brand new laptop.
Oh, wow.
So I have to learn how to use it. But supposedly it's got a good camera and mic. And
what is it?
a Dell.
Oh, good. Good. Well, Irene wants to bump up to a new Dell, I suppose.
I have a Dell and I like it.
Yeah. Well, it isn't the top of the line, but it's a good one.
And mine came from UC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reynolds Grant.
Right. Well, I supposedly have to give this back to Duke, but I can't imagine that anyone wants it.
No, nobody wants it. That's a urban myth.
You can give yours back.
No, they don't want any of it. It's too old.
It's like a brick. I feel like you could knock someone out with on a computer. You could pick it up like it's a weapon.
Yours is more like a knife, being so new. It's so thin.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's tons of fun to see you guys.
Well, it's great to see you guys too.
Lisa,
And
you
thanks
look
for,
tan. And
for helping us do this.
You
Oh.
look like you just had your hair done.
Oh, yeah, I just had it cut.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, this is natural. Natural gray.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like Bob's hair too.
Yeah, next,
Very thick, good color.
standing out like crazy because I got to using this stupid medicated shampoo. And now I had one night with the regular shampoo and it looks dry by comparison.
It's better. His hair was getting real oily and we got a special shampoo. It's better now.
Well, I managed to take a bath before my Saturday night date with the two of you.
Saturday night date. Yeah, we all got baths because it was Saturday night, right?
what do you mean? I haven't had a bath for a month. We're just staying here in COVID land.
Right.
I haven't even changed my clothes. I'm still wearing the same pants and shirt.
Yeah, everybody's in pajamas 24/7.
I'm sorry to say he's serious about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know about this.
Yeah, you're right.
Poor
Well,
Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't take a thing for this visit. Thank you for making time for us, and we will have another double date
Yeah,
soon.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get a big screen too.
Well, you can have whatever you want. And every time you Zoom, it's a little different, you know. It's
Right.
that way.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
But anyway, it's really good to see all of you.
I know. I see the sun shining there.
It looks
Can't
like
believe it.
you've got perfect lighting.
Oh, no, that's just lights. It's not, it's dark.
It's good.
Well, it
It's
looks
good.
like it's sunshine.
Yeah. Sometime I'll learn how to carry this thing around and show you the apartment.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to making
Okay.
a proper home visit.
All right.
Well,
Toodaloo.
Bob, give her a sloppy, wet kiss and hug from us, okay?
Okay.
If we can't get a hold of Lisa the way we want.
That's a promise.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.